Please be dressed appropriately, no cutoff sleeves, no caps, no smoking, no taking us to the restroom. Okay, we are now live and on the record for Tuesday afternoon's criminal docket, December 7, 2021. And I'll begin with Attorney Cynthia Cantu del Bosque.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have number 12 through 17.
Okay, Deputy, can you please bring Christopher Priego forward?
Yes, Your Honor, he's here.
All right, that is CR 21-00725-I, CR 21-00726-I, CR 21-06209-I, CR 21-06418-I, CR 21-06419-I, and CR 21-06420-I. The State of Texas versus Christopher Alexander Priego. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Yes, Your Honor, we've reached an agreement to resolve all of these cases, and I have the paperwork from the state. However, I'm also pending paperwork on the felony case. They were supposed to have that to me yesterday. They still haven't sent it to me, and I'm wanting to sign him up on everything at Judge.
Okay, so how much time do you think?
Judge, I believe he's set for the 13th on the felony, so if we could have either that same date or the day after, we can put him out on these matters.
He's set for December the 13th?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. I'll go ahead and make room for him on the 14th at 1:30.
Very well.
Okay, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor. That's all the business I have before this honorable court. May I be excused?
You certainly may, Mr. Priego. We'll see you back here on December 14th at 1:30, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Arredondo?
Good afternoon, Judge. I have two cases here today, Judge. The first one is Fernando de los Rios, number 5, 6, and 7 on your docket. He's in custody, Judge.
Okay. That is CR 21-02822-I, CR 21-02823-I, CR 20-07477-I, State of Texas versus Fernando de los Rios Jr. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, we were set today for a plea, Judge. The paperwork has been signed, Judge. I will go ahead and email it to the state right now. I was delaying in providing it to the state, Judge, because after speaking with my clients, he was supposed to plead guilty to all 3 misdemeanors, but he's not going to plead to 2 of them, Judge. So I just need to talk to the felony prosecutor, see if they're going to dismiss. If not, so we can try those and just plead guilty to the other ones.
Okay, so then how much time do you need to speak to them?
Just 1 week, Judge. I'll get back to him this week, and we should make the announcement next week, Judge.
Okay, so then I'm gonna set him for a plea on December the 7th at 1:30. I mean, I'm sorry, December the 14th at 1:30.
That works, Judge.
Okay, so try to see if you can have an answer for us on all of those misdemeanors that he has pending here, okay?
Yes, Judge. I'll go ahead and reach out to the felony prosecutors this week.
Okay, thank you.
And then I have one other case, Your Honor, Francisco Guerrero, number 35 on your docket.
Okay, CR 20-01355-I, State of Texas versus Francisco Guerrero. And is Mr. Guerrero present?
Yes, sir. He's present via Zoom.
Okay, Mr. Guerrero, can you please announce yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and I believe Ms. Saldana, is this your case?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we do have someone here from the state. What is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, I spoke to my client, Judge, and I also spoke to Ms. Alanya yesterday as well as today, Judge. The victim will be filing an AMP, Your Honor, and our client will be doing the BIP classes, Judge, for dismissal.
Okay, Ms. Saldana?
That's correct, Your Honor. So once we get the certificate of completion, we will submit the dismissal.
Okay, and when is the alleged victim scheduled to go in for the AMP?
She's supposed to call in, I think, this afternoon to schedule an appointment.
That's correct, Judge. Hopefully it'll get scheduled by this week so she can go in next week.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set it for a status on January the 20th at 9:30. And we'll see if everything's been taken care of by then.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge. And that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
Thank you likewise. Okay, Mr.
Thank
Flores?
you, Judge.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have
Good
number
afternoon.
52 on the court's criminal docket.
Okay, CR 20-03267-I, State of Texas versus Philip Ramos. Is Mr. Ramos present?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm right here, Your Honor.
Okay, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, on this case, we are set for status. We were pending the felony. He's set for a staffing tomorrow with the 206, and then he's set for a plea deadline for Friday, this Friday. So I'm thinking after that, maybe 2 weeks after that, we should have it resolved, Your Honor.
Okay, so the earliest I have is January the 20th, but if you have it resolved before then, it'll be a moot point. So we can just go ahead and set you for a status for January 20th at 9:30.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anything else?
Nothing further. May I be excused?
Yes, sir, and good luck to you, Mr. Ramos.
Yes, ma'am. You have a good Christmas and a Happy New Year's.
Likewise, sir, appreciate it. Okay, Mr. Cavazos?
Judge, I have a quick plea, Judge. It's a non-jail case.
Okay, I'm gonna take up those pleas shortly.
All right, Your Honor, might be temporarily excused to go to another court.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Salinas?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Judge, I'm here on dockets number 47 and 48, State of Texas versus Carlo Valerio.
Okay, CR 20-07997-I, CR 21-08052-I, State of Texas versus Carlos Valerio, and is Mr. Valerio present?
He is, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Valerio, can you please announce yourself?
You're on mute, Mr. Valerio.
Okay, I see him. Okay, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Your Honor, so these cases are out of separate transactions, Judge. The first matter I'd like to address is the assault charge, Your Honor. It's my understanding that the alleged victim in the case is going to be submitting an affidavit of non-prosecution to requesting that the charges be dropped against Mr. Valerio. I did speak to the state about that as recently as this morning, Your Honor, and provided the alleged victim's phone number so that contact can be made to I guess, confirm that, Judge. That's my announcement on the assault. So I was going to ask for some more time to allow that to occur, Your Honor, and possibly get some testimony on record from the alleged victim requesting that those charges be dropped. And in regards to the resisting arrest charge, Your Honor, that stems out of the same transaction of 2 pending felonies that are an intake, Judge. So I'd ask for some additional time on that so that we can try to handle the felonies and that particular charge together.
Okay, so then, Mr. Lozano, do you show that you all have been in contact with the alleged victim?
Your Honor, I just got a phone call from our victim. I asked for the number from Mr. Salinas. He provided it, so I'll go ahead and give our victim a call back at the end of this hearing.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set both of them for a status for January the 20th at 9:30. And if they sign the A&P before then, we can take up the victim testimony at the same time on that date.
Understood, Your Honor.
And then on the ones that are pending the felonies, those are gonna be pushed out further, but I would just want to keep them together so we don't lose track.
Sure, understood, Your Honor.
Okay, so Mr. Valerio, we'll see you back on January the 20th at 9:30, sir, okay?
I
He's
think
still
still
on mute.
Judge. Yeah, I'll let him know, Judge.
Okay, please
Okay.
do. All
Thank you,
right,
Your Honor.
anything else?
That's all I have before the court, member. Excuse.
You certainly may.
Thank you, Judge. Take care.
Okay, Mr. Maldonado?
Your Honor, number 26, State versus Eleazar Campos, it's set for a plea.
Okay.
Mr. Campos next to me already.
And it is ready to go?
Yes,
Okay, let me ask the state because I don't have it on my list as ready. It's number 26, Mr. Lozano on CR 20-02729-I.
Your Honor, I didn't receive paperwork back from Mr. Maldonado.
Okay, so Mr. Maldonado, the state's not showing that the paperwork has been submitted to them.
Oh, I thought we had, Judge. Could we have a short recess then, Judge? Reset it for next few days then?
I can have you come back on December the 14th at 1:30.
December 14th at 1:30. That's fine, Judge.
Okay, then we'll see you back then to complete the plea.
Yes, thank you, Judge.
Okay, do you have anything else?
That's all I have, Judge.
Okay, thank you,
Thank
sir. You have a good
Have a
day.
good day.
Okay, so does anybody recognize the gentleman with the maroonish or reddish shirt with the key lanyard around him? Is that any of you attorneys' clients that are on here? No? Okay. He's having trouble connecting to audio. And then I need to tell him not to be falling asleep. So, okay. Ms. Muniz?
Judge,
Okay, what number?
I have numbers 18, 19, and 20, State of Texas versus David Rivas.
Okay.
He's in custody, Your Honor.
CR 21-13226-I, CR 21-13227-I. State of Texas versus David Rivas Jr. Okay, and what is your announcement, counselor?
Your Honor, I received recommendations from the state on these cases. However, he has a felony that's pending and he has another felony at intake. I've spoken to the felony prosecutor. They're wanting to wait until that last felony comes in. However, I'm going to make sure that they're okay with me resolving his misdemeanors while we wait for the other one so that way we can get these off the court's docket. So I just need a little bit of time so I can go over the discovery with him. I already have a meeting scheduled for tomorrow afternoon with him.
Okay, so do you want to, will that January 20th date work for you?
Yes, Judge, that should work. That should be more than enough time.
Okay, January 20th at 1:30.
Okay, Your Honor. If for some reason the felony wants us to wait on this, I'll advise the court and we'll move it to the 9:30 docket.
Okay,
Okay, that's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy?
Afternoon, Judge. I've got two clients on your docket this afternoon, both jail cases. Would you prefer the female client first or the male client first, Ron?
I do not have the female unit on. So
Okay.
I don't know if they're backed up, but so let's start with your male client.
That makes it easy. I guess it's number 8 through 11 on your docket, Cruz Limas.
Okay. All right, CR 20-12317-I, CR 19-15698-I, and CR 20-12315-I, and CR 20-03933-I, the state of Texas versus Cruz Javier Lima. And what is your announcement, counselor?
Judge, he has a felony out of these transactions that are set for December the 14th in the 93rd District Court. I'm not sure if that felony is going to be worked out by that time. So I'm asking for a continuance, Your Honor.
Okay, the earliest I have after that is January the 20th at 1:30.
That'll be fine, Your Honor. If it gets worked out before, then I can let you know.
Yes, that would be great.
You said it's going to be January the 20th?
Yes, at 1:30.
I just found out I'm going to have a contested, in-person contested hearing at that time in the 93rd. Is there any other date I could have other than that one?
It would be February the 10th.
Okay, I'm available on that one.
Okay,
At the same time at 1:30?
yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge. And I'll hang back for the female unit, Your Honor.
Okay, hold on. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't gonna be overstaying on. Oh. Make sure on the days, Mr. Kennedy, when you're looking at him, because I just want to make sure that he's not in there for longer than the sentence that he could have received.
Yes, I'll
Okay.
double check on that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Garza?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. I have number 45 of your docket.
Okay. Give me one moment. Okay, that's CR 21-00964-I, State of Texas versus Francisco Ramon. Is Mr. Ramon present?
Yes, Your Honor, I did see him logged in. I know, there he is, Judge. He's on my second screen.
Okay, Mr. Ramon, can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, in this case, there is an agreement to the 60-day PTD POM program. However, Mr. Ramon has been working and I have not been able to meet with him, Judge, to review the plea paperwork. I'm asking for more time so that I can sign him up.
Okay, so the earliest I have is January 20th at 1:30.
Yes, Judge, that should give us enough time so that he can come.
Okay, you need to stay in contact with your attorney, Mr. Ramon, so that you can go ahead and sign that paperwork. At your next setting, hopefully we can place you on the program, okay?
Yes, Your Honor. Appreciate it.
All right. Okay, anything else?
No, Judge, that's all I have this afternoon. May I be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Pettis?
Good morning, good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
Good afternoon, sir. Doing well. Yourself?
Very well. Your Honor, I have number 21 in your criminal docket. That's the State of Texas versus Daniel Humberto Peña Costa. That's CR 13-10623-I. Judge, we have reached a agreement with the state's attorney in this case. This is going to be a bust down to a speeding charge. We received the paperwork from the DA's office so that my client can go and pay the fine at the JP's office and bring a $500 fine check, present it to the DA's office so that they will submit it for dismissal. I think if the court grants us another maybe 30 days, we should be able to get it all resolved by then.
January 20th at 1:30.
Okay, Your Honor, and I also have number 38 on your criminal docket. That is case number CR 21-08714-I. State of Texas versus Mario Ivan Martinez. And he's also on number 39 on your criminal docket. That's CR 1810709-I. Number 40 on your criminal docket. CR 18-10710-I. Number 41 on your criminal docket, CR 18-10711-I. And number 42 on your criminal docket, CR 18-12577-I. All those for the State of Texas versus Mario Ivan Martinez for a total of 5 criminal cases. Your Honor, at this time, we're asking for a trial setting on these cases.
Okay, and is Mr. Martinez present?
It should be.
Mario Martinez, will you please announce yourself? Mario Martinez? There's nobody coming on by that name.
May I, hold on real quick. He had notice from our office to be on.
I'll give him until the end of the docket
Okay.
to come on, but what I'll give you a setting. Now we'll go ahead and set him for, since he's asking for a trial setting on all of those, we'll set him for a status on January the 20th at 9:30. And then at that time, I'll give you your pretrial and trial settings.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, you may be excused.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Mr. Guerra, you're here on a plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, great. And Mr. Ramirez, you're here on a plea?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Mount, are you here on a plea? Okay, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez on a plea?
Yes, Your Honor. Jail case.
Mr. Garcia on a plea?
Yes, Your Honor, yes.
Ms. Diaz on a plea? Ms. Diaz, are you on a plea? Ms. Diaz? Ms. Melinda Diaz? No, I don't know how she cannot hear, but anyway. Mr. Damian, can you please call Ms. Diaz on her phone and see if she answers?
Yes,
And
ma'am.
let her know that, okay, we're gonna get ready with the pleas. Let me just go ahead and those attorneys that are here, I'm gonna take your clients first. This gentleman still has not been able to connect to audio. Does anyone recognize him as any of your clients? He's on that Sound Steel Pro. I can't, there's no way that I could ask him to turn his audio because he won't hear me. Okay. Okay, Billy Baez, are you present?
Yes, I am.
Okay, sir, please stay unmuted and make sure that you're in a quiet place, okay?
Okay.
Eduardo Cardosa.
I'm ready. Bye.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, make sure that you stay unmuted and we'll take you up. Ms. Diaz, can you hear us now?
I can hear you, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna get started with the pleas.
Yes, Judge.
Francisco Castano. Okay, Mr. Castano, we're just waiting for your attorney to come back, okay? We'll be right with you. Okay, Alex Fuentes. Alex Fuentes. Mr. Fuentes, can you please announce yourself?
I'm right here, ma'am.
Okay, make sure that you stay unmuted and with your camera on.
Yes, ma'am.
Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez. Aaron Hernandez.
I'm right here, Your Honor.
Okay, please stay unmuted and with your camera on, please. Eric Reyna. Eric Reyna.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay, please stay unmuted and with your camera on, please. Okay, is there anybody here for a plea that I did not call out? Okay. And
Judge,
No, there was a chance.
I have a couple cases that are on your plea docket, but they're not going to go forward on pleas. I can hold till the end.
no, what
Or I
numbers
can
are
pick-
those?
Yes, ma'am. I'm so sorry. Sorry, I'm juggling a mediation here, Judge. Numbers 49 and 50 are the same defendant, Enrique Villarreal.
Okay, and is Mr. Villarreal present?
Mr. Villarreal, can you turn on your screen and unmute yourself?
Enrique Villarreal.
I see his name, Judge. I just don't know if he's taken off of.
He has not connected to audio.
Uh-oh. Judge,
Okay, what is your announcement on those?
Judge, that one, he has another DWI pending. So we were waiting to see if we can reapply for the DWI court and handle that as well. We did have a recommendation for this case, and then he subsequently picked up a second DWI.
Okay, so it's still at intake?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct. We confirmed before the docket started.
Okay, then I'm going to set you for a status on those two cases for January the 20th at 9:30.
120 at 9:30. I'll go ahead and text him right now, Judge, since he hasn't connected to audio.
Okay, and then
Savannah, real quick. So
Yes, ma'am.
you're
Sure.
talking about the DWI from January 2nd, 2021?
I don't have the exact date. I'm so sorry.
Just for clarifications, because he does
My
have,
staff starting, yes.
okay, so that case was rejected at intake.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
So then we can plea him on these already or not?
yes.
Okay, Judge, if you'll allow me, let me email Mr. Lozano, confirm that we're good to go on the plea. And can we keep the same date or do you want me to get a different one?
no, January 20th, but it'll be at 1:30.
1:30. Good deal.
Okay, I think Mr. Villarreal has already connected to audio, so Mr. Villarreal, you'll return on January the 20th at 1:30, sir, okay? Okay, I think he's fine.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may, I have a plea that was not called in the list that you just read out.
Okay.
It's numbers 3 and 4 on the docket.
Oh, yes, and yours is the first one on my list. I don't know how I missed it. Raul Cortina. He's he's in custody. If you can bring Raul Cortina forward. Thank you, Mr. Gonzalez.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Solis, did you have just an announcement?
Yes, Judge, I have on a few matters, Judge. Number 54, Ms. Maricela Serna.
Okay, CR 2102-311-I. Is Ms. Serna present?
I do see her logged on, Judge.
Okay, I see her. And what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, on this case, we're gonna be filing a PTD in the next few days, Judge. And we're just asking time for it to get reviewed.
Okay, Ms. Serna, do you have an alcohol monitoring device?
No.
Okay, then you'll go ahead and come back on February the 24th at 9:30. If she's ready for placement, let us know and we'll move her to 1:30.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay.
I also have number 43, Mr. Omar Ovando, and he's logged in as well.
CR 20-07582-I, State of Texas versus Omar Ovando. Mr. Ovando, are you present?
It's connecting to audio, Judge. He's wearing a red shirt.
Oh, he's been having problems since the beginning. You might want to call him. It's okay because he was also, I don't know if he's on shift work or what, but he was also asleep.
Sorry, Judge. Apologies about that.
Okay, so then what is your announcement on that?
Judge, in this case, I just got an offer from the state and I also got back the USB. I just asking a little bit of time to review those two things, Judge.
Okay, so do you want a status setting or a plea setting?
If we can get a plea setting, Judge.
Okay. By January 20th or a little bit later?
That's fine.
Okay, January 20th at 1:30.
And then I have number 51, Mr. Olegario Hinojosa, Judge.
CR 20-469-I, Olegario Hinojosa. Mr. Hinojosa, will you please announce yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, last time we were here, we were waiting on a couple misdemeanors that are still in intake. I'm not sure they have been filed at this time.
Can the state verify whether they're still at intake or if they've been assigned?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm looking at that right now. Your Honor, they're still in jailings. They haven't been assigned the CR number. They're currently at intake.
Okay, then we'll come back on that one. We'll give it some time. So February 24th at 9:30.
Thank you, Judge.
And that's gonna be for a status,
Yes, Judge.
okay?
Thank you. May we be excused?
Yes, Ms. Gonzalez, I apologize. You still had Ms. Delgado, is that correct?
Mr. Delgado, Judge, number 31.
Oh, I apologize.
That's okay, Judge.
All right, CR 1908-260-I, Paul Delgado. Mr. Delgado, can you please announce yourself?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and what is your announcement, Counselor?
Judge, on this one, he is set for a PTD plea today. I don't think the paperwork made its way around the circulation, but if we can just get a new date for plea, he has already signed up and is ready to go.
Okay, January the 20th at 1:30.
At 1:30, okay. May he be excused, Judge?
Yes.
Thank you. And then I have number 30, Paula Karina Cruz. I did not see her logged in, Judge.
Okay, we'll give her till the end of the docket.
Yes, ma'am. And then same with number 46. I don't see her logged in. I'll be on standby, Judge.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Cavazos, did you connect back?
Present, Judge.
Okay, so your client, I believe, is he Spanish speaking or English speaking?
He speaks both, Judge.
Okay, because he was having trouble unmuting, so I wasn't sure.
Usually his son helps him with the Zoom,
Okay,
Judge.
there you go. Okay, Mr. Castano, English or Spanish?
Spanish is better for me.
Okay, Ms. Castañeda, can you hear me?
Castaño. Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Castaño, Ms. Castañeda is going to translate for you. Ms. Castañeda, please tell him.
Mr. Castano, yo le voy a traducir para usted.
Okay.
And let him know that he needs to answer in Spanish, even if he understands English.
Mr. Castano, tiene que responder en español aunque usted entienda en inglés.
Está bien.
That's fine.
Okay. So then, now everyone that is here for a plea and your attorney is present. Mr. Baez, I need for the camera to be on your face, please. Thank you. Okay, everyone, please raise your right hand. Ms. Castañeda?
Señor Castano, por favor, levante su mano derecha.
Do you swear that the testimony that you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Yes or no, Raul Cortina?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Baez,
Yes.
Mr. Cardosa,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Castaño, Ms. Castañeda?
Jura que el testimonio que está a punto de dar es la verdad, toda la verdad y nada más que la verdad. Yes.
Mr. Fuentes,
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez,
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Reina.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you all may lower your hands. In CR 19-14619-I and in CR 20-07211-I, the state of Texas versus Raul Cortina, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And sir, you're being charged with terroristic threat, cause fear of imminent SBI, which is a Class B misdemeanor, and duty on striking fixture, highway, landscape, which is a Class B misdemeanor of greater than $200. And in just a moment, I will explain what your range of punishment is for a Class A misdemeanor and a Class B misdemeanor. Mr. Baez, in CR 1909315-I and in CR 20108551-I, the state of Texas versus Billy Joe Baez, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, it is.
And you are being charged with 2 counts of driving while intoxicated, second, a Class A misdemeanor. Mr. Eduardo Cardosa, in CR 21-06055-I, is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. In CR 1912078-I, state of Texas versus Francisco Javier Castaño, is that your true and correct name, sir? Ms. Castañeda?
Francisco Javier Castaño, ese es su nombre correcto y verdadero.
That's correct.
That's correct.
You're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor.
Está usted frente a la corte acusado de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B.
Está bueno.
In CR 21-05028-I, CR 21-05029-I, State of Texas versus Alex Fuentes. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
And you're being charged with criminal trespass, a Class B misdemeanor, and criminal mischief of greater than $100, but less than $750. That's a Class B misdemeanor. In CR 20-05745-I, State of Texas versus Aaron Hernandez. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're being charged with driving while intoxicated and with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, and that is a Class A misdemeanor. In CR 20-05060-I, State of Texas versus Eric Israel Reina. Is that your true and correct name, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you're being charged with driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. If you're before the court charged with a Class B misdemeanor, that Class B misdemeanor carries a potential penalty of up to 6 months in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine upon conviction. For those defendants with a Class A misdemeanor, those Class A misdemeanors carry a potential penalty of up to 1 year in Hidalgo County Jail and up to a $4,000 fine upon conviction. Do each of you understand the range of punishment that you can receive for the offense or offenses of which you are charged? Ms. Castañeda, please translate.
Mr. Castano, ¿está usted en esta corte por una ofensa menor clase B? Una ofensa menor clase B tiene una multa potencial de hasta 6 meses en la cárcel del condado de Hidalgo y hasta una multa de hasta $2,000 por convicción. ¿Entiende usted el rango de castigo que puede recibir?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, do you understand the range of punishment you can receive, sir, for the offenses of which you are charged? Yes or no? Okay. Mr. Baez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cardosa, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes, yes or no?
Yes, I do, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Reina, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And all of you have the right to an attorney and the right to a trial by jury. You can waive one or both of those rights by signing a written document with the court. At this time, I'll ask each of you, did you have an opportunity to review a document with your attorney before signing it? Ms. Castañeda?
Tiene usted el derecho de un abogado y el derecho para un juicio por jurado, pero puede renunciar a uno o a los dos de sus derechos firmando un documento con esta corte. ¿Tuvo usted una oportunidad de revisar esos documentos con su abogado antes de firmar?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Baez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cardosa, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Reina, yes or no?
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Okay. And did each of you understand that when you signed that document, you were waiving your right to a trial by jury? Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Castano, ¿entiende usted que cuando firmó ese documento que estaba renunciando a su derecho de un juicio por jurado?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Baez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cardosa, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes, yes or no?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Reina, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
The court will accept your waivers of a trial by jury. Has any court ever declared you to be mentally incompetent, crazy, or insane, Ms. Castañeda?
¿Alguna corte lo ha declarado mentalmente incompetente, loco o demente?
No.
No.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, yes or no?
No.
Mr. Baez?
No.
Mr. Cardosa?
No, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez,
No, ma'am.
Mr. Reina?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Counselors, in speaking with your clients, do you find them to be mentally competent and able to assist you in their own defense, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and Mr. Ramirez?
Yes, Judge.
And Ms. Diaz?
U.S. to Mr. Cardoza, Your Honor.
Mr. Cavazos?
Competent able to assist, Judge.
Mr. Garcia?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Guerra?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Mount?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then the court will make a finding that all the defendants before the court are all mentally competent and able to assist their attorneys in their own defense. Now, do each of you understand that if the punishment I assess does not exceed what's recommended by the state, you'll need this court's permission if you decide to file an appeal? Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Cardona, entiende que si el castigo que voy a evaluar, si el castigo no excede la recomendación del Estado, usted va a necesitar el permiso de esta corte si usted decide presentar una apelación. ¿Entiende eso?
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Baez, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Cardoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Reina?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you further understand that the court does not have to accept the recommendation of the state? Ms. Castañeda?
También entiende que la corte no tiene que aceptar la recomendación del Estado.
Sí.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cortina?
Yes.
Mr. Baez?
Yes.
Mr. Cardoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Reina?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, I need to ask all of you if you are a U.S. citizen. Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Castano, ¿es usted ciudadano americano?
No.
No.
Okay, Mr. Cortina?
Yes.
Mr. Baez?
Yes.
Mr. Cardoza?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Reina?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Castaño, because you are not a U.S. citizen, then entering a plea or no contest will result in your deportation, exclusion, or admission from our country and denial of naturalization under U.S. federal law. Do you understand the consequences of your plea today, Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Castano, si usted no es ciudadano americano, entonces esta petición va a resultar en su deportación, expulsión de este país y negación de la naturalización. ¿Entiende usted las consecuencias de su petición?
Sí.
Yes.
Knowing and understanding the consequences of your plea today and the effect on your immigration status, do you still wish to enter into your plea?
Y sabiendo las consecuencias de su petición a hoy, todavía quiere proceder.
Yo tengo pasaporte, no sé.
I have a passport, I don't know.
Okay. Well, it's just if he wants to move forward today or not.
¿Quiere proceder a hoy, sí o no?
Pues que no entiendo la pregunta, ¿no?
I don't understand the question.
Okay, Mr. Cavazos, do you want an opportunity to speak to your client in a breakout room? Mr. Cavazos?
I'm sorry, Judge, I was muted. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, let me get that for you. Okay, Ms. Castañeda, please let Mr. Castano know that he's going to have an invitation to enter a breakout room to speak to his attorney about that question and just to accept that invitation.
Mr. Castano, ¿va a ver usted una invitación para meterse a otro cuarto para que hable con su abogado tocante su pregunta? Por favor, acepte la invitación.
Ok, ¿cómo le hago? Porque yo tengo problemas para meterme en el teléfono. Ahorita pedí ayuda para que me ayudara.
How do I do it? Because I need help.
I don't know how it looks like on the phone, that's why. Sir, the young man that's helping him, sir, there's an invitation for a breakout room. Can you accept that invitation and get him? There you go. Okay. All right. So in continuing in CR 19-14619-I and in CR 200721-I, the state of Texas versus Raul Cortina to the offense of terroristic threat, cause fear of imminent SBI, a class B misdemeanor, and duty on striking fixture highway landscapes of greater than $200, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, and in CR 19093115-I and in CR 20108551-I, the state of Texas versus Billy Joe Baez to the offenses of driving while intoxicated second. That's two separate offenses, a class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
In CR 21-06055-I, the state of Texas versus Eduardo Cardosa to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor, sir. How do you plead? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
And in CR 21-05028-I and CR 21-05029-I, the state of Texas versus Alex Fuentes for the to the offenses of criminal trespass, a class B misdemeanor, and a criminal mischief of greater than $100 but less than $750, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
In CR 20-05745-I, the state of Texas versus Aaron Hernandez to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a blood alcohol level of greater than 0.15, a class A misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty, Your Honor.
In CR 20-05060-I, the state of Texas versus Eric Israel Reina to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. How do you plead, sir? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay, Mr. Cavazos, was your client going to move forward today? Give me one moment, everyone. Okay, Mr. Cavazos, your client came back out to the waiting room. Was he going to move forward today?
Yes, Judge.
Okay. Let's go back to Mr. Castano. Ms. Castañeda, please ask Mr. Castano if he can unmute himself.
Mr. Castano, ¿puede quitar el micrófono? Si quiere el micrófono.
Yeah.
Okay, ask him in CR 19-12078-I, the state of Texas versus Francisco Javier Castano to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a class B misdemeanor. How does he plead? Guilty or not guilty?
En el estado de Texas en contra Francisco Javier Castano por una ofensa de manejar en estado de ebriedad, una ofensa menor clase B, ¿cómo se declara culpable o no culpable?
Culpable.
Guilty.
And are all of you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily? Ms. Castañeda?
Mr. Castano, ¿se está usted declarando culpable libre y voluntariamente?
Correcto.
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Cortina, yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Baez?
Yes.
Mr. Cardosa?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Fuentes?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Mr. Reina?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the court will accept your pleas as being freely and voluntarily given. I will call for state's evidence at this time.
Your Honor, state offers plea documents and offense reports as State's Exhibit 1, notification and certification of defendant's right of appeal as State's Exhibit 2, waiver of Article 3914 disclosures as State's Exhibit 3, waiver of risks and needs assessment as State's Exhibit 4, and the PTD packet as State's Exhibit 5. State would also request defense counsel stipulate to the venue and jurisdiction of this honorable court and stipulate that the evidence that has been e-filed is sufficient to corroborate a plea of guilty on all cases.
Okay, any objections, counselors? Mr. Gonzalez?
No objections, that we do so stipulate.
Okay, and Mr. Ramirez
Yes, no objection, Your Honor. We'll also stipulate.
and Ms. Diaz?
No objection, so agreed and stipulated, Your Honor.
Mr. Garcia?
No objection, and we stipulate to Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Guerra
No objections, and so stipulate, Your Honor.
and Ms. Mount?
No objection, so agreed and stipulated as to venue and jurisdiction only.
There being no objections from defense counsel as to the exhibits are hereby admitted and approved. Okay, NCR 19-14619-I and CR 20-07211-I in the state of Texas versus Raul Cortina. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you're guilty as charged on each of those offenses. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, on the terroristic threat, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost, 71 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 71. Your Honor, on the duty on striking, the state recommends a $100 fine, court cost, 71 days, Hidalgo County Jail, credit for 71, and a due and owing of $1,000 to Antonio Moreno Nava.
Okay, Mr. Gonzalez, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, I would ask that the court will waive both fines and both court costs. Mr. Cortina is going to be pleading guilty to a 3-year TDC sentence out of the 332nd tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, that'll be granted. Both fine and court costs will be waived. And the rest of the recommendation I'll follow.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, sir. Mr.
Thank you,
Cortina, best of luck to you, sir. Okay, in CR 19-09315-I and CR 20-10851-I in the state of Texas versus Billy Joe Baez. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged on each of those offenses. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation on CR 19-09315-I is a $100 fine, court cost, 1 year, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 2 years. The repeat offender program, mobile alcohol monitoring device for 1 year, 3 days, Hidalgo County Jail, 180 days, Texas driver's license suspension, 20 community service hours, and the MAD impact panel. On CR 20-10851, the recommendation would be the same.
Okay, Mr. Ramirez, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, and Judge, before I go into my request, Judge, part of the plea bargain is that there were 2 other cases. It's a CR 20-10953-I, which is
Accident involving damage to the vehicle.
yes, that was going to be dismissed, Judge. And then
Okay.
the other one is CR 20-10-852-I. That's number 24 in your docket. That was also going to be dismissed.
Okay, Mr. Lozano?
Your Honor, that is correct. The state will be moving to dismiss both of those cases with the aforementioned pleas on both DWI seconds.
Okay,
For the request, Your Honor, the first one, I guess, would be the CR 19-09-315-I. Judge, on that one, Mr. Baez is a building contractor and he has to travel out of the county for employment. And so we're asking that the court waive condition 7 so that he can continue with his livelihood.
okay, that'll be granted, so he can travel for work.
And since he's fully employed and he works, all kinds of hours, Judge, we're also asking that the court waive his community service hours. That would be
Okay.
condition number 11.
That'll be granted.
The Mr. Baez's driver's license had been suspended initially, and he had gotten an occupational license. So we're asking the court to not suspend his license again. It's already been suspended one time.
Okay, how long was it suspended for?
Mr. Baez, how long was it suspended for?
It's already been suspended until 2022.
So it's still in
yeah.
suspension, Judge.
Okay. Then that'll be granted.
And condition number 22nd is that he be permitted to use a portable device. Right now, he's got an interlock device in his vehicle, but he wanted to have the portable.
Okay, so then, yeah, they're asking for the mobile alcohol monitoring device, so I'll grant that, and then an order for the removal of the interlock needs to be submitted, and I'll go ahead and sign that.
Very well. And who submits that order? Would it be the probation or district attorney's office?
On those cases where they're switching out, I think it's the defense attorney, isn't that correct, Mr. Lozano, or?
Yes, Your Honor, because it's their request.
Okay, so it'd be a motion.
No, it'll just be an order to actually, Ms. Soto, what's the correct name for that order when we're gonna switch them out?
It's a swap order, Judge. Depends on who he gets his mobile device with. So right now he does have his interlock device with Lifesaver. Lifesaver also offers a mobile device. So what we can do, Judge, once he goes with the probation officer, they can go ahead and do that if you'd like.
Okay, that'll probably be more efficient.
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay.
He's also asking, Judge, just a little bit of time to pay his court costs. which would be
Okay.
Condition 8.
So then I'm gonna give him 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. Both sentences will run concurrent.
Thank you, Judge. And the same request on CR 20-108-51E. It's the judgment should be identical, Your Honor.
The judgment will mirror one another because they're going to run concurrent. Condition 7 will be waived. Condition 11 will be waived. He'll be allowed right now that his driver's license is suspended, what it'll be is it'll run concurrent with that driver's license suspension. There won't be any other additional time that it'll be suspended.
And there is a condition that, that he'd go to the Hidalgo County Jail for 3 days, and he wanted to go ahead and go in this coming Friday.
Okay, he can do those 3 days at any time during his probation period.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Baez, what is your current phone number?
956-508-2239.
Okay. All right, so you need to report as soon as possible so that we can get that swap order done for you. So that we can go ahead and get you out of that interlock device and switch you to the mobile.
I have 2 interlock devices. Can I have them both removed?
Yes, you should only have one.
Well,
He's got 2 vehicles.
Yes.
Okay, well, you're gonna switch to the mobile device.
Yes.
So now that you're gonna have the mobile, any interlock devices that you have are going to be removed.
Okay.
So you're just gonna be doing one time, but in that one, for that mobile device, there's 3 testing periods. So make sure that you understand from your probation officer exactly how it's going to work, okay?
Yes. Thank
All
you.
right. Okay, anything else, Mr. Ramirez?
No, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Okay, then that'll be the judgment of the court, and the rest of the recommendation I will follow. All right, Mr. Baez, good luck to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Happy
Okay.
holidays.
You too. NCR 21-06055-I, the state of Texas versus Eduardo Cardosa. Mr. Cardosa, you are asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, therefore, a finding of guilt will be set aside at this time to see how you do on that program. That pretrial diversion program, it's a contract that you're entering into with the state of Texas. You're agreeing to comply with certain conditions. In exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you, but only if you successfully complete that program. At the time that you signed that paperwork, sir, did you understand the terms and conditions of that program as they were explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
And was there anything on there, sir, that you could not realistically meet?
I work out of town. Am I allowed to leave the county?
The court, as long as it's for work and with proof of employment, I will allow you to travel for work, so that condition will be waived, and that's condition G.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Anything else, Ms. Diaz, on behalf of your client?
Nothing that we discussed, Your Honor. This was the state's recommendation and agreement from the defendant, Your Honor.
Okay, therefore, the rest of the recommendation I will follow. And what is his 1 year PTD date?
It's December the 6th, Judge.
Okay, it'll be December the 6th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m., sir. And that's when we'll see how you're doing on the program and if you'll be removed.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so do you already have your alcohol monitoring device, sir?
No, ma'am. Last time you said it was waived.
Okay, but I believe as part of the PTD program, it's a mandatory requirement unless you all have agreed to something else.
Okay, no, ma'am. I don't have a monitor.
Okay, Mr. Lozano, is that correct?
Your Honor, that is correct. Defendant is to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device as part of our program.
Okay, so as part of that PTD, the DWI PTD program, sir, you have to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device. Therefore, you will have to have that mobile device within the next 48 business hours. That is what the court requires. So can I get a phone number for you?
Yeah, it's 956-391-5817.
Okay, at the earliest convenience of the probation department, they will contact you and they will speak to you about the providers that have the mobile alcohol monitoring device. And since you're familiar with the process, you should be able to get it. Okay?
Okay.
All right, sir. Then I hope to not see you until December 6th of 2022.
Okay, thank you.
All right, sir. You have a good day.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Honor. May we be excused?
You certainly may, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Okay. NCR 19-12078-I, the state of Texas versus Francisco Javier Castano to the offense of driving while intoxicated, a Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged. Ms. Castañeda?
En el estado de Texas, contra Francisco Javier Castano por un cargo de manejar en estado de ebriedad, es la sentencia de la corte que es culpable de los cargos.
Okay. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $300 fine, court costs 180 days Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 10 months, an alcohol class, the ignition interlock device for 5 months, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 10 community service hours.
Okay, Mr. Cavazos, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, Your Honor, real quickly, Judge. Earlier, you didn't call me when you were admitting the evidence, Judge, so we have no objection to any of the state's documents, Judge. Further, I did go over the immigration issue with my client again. He is a legal permanent resident. I spoke with him about that. That's what he was trying to explain to the court. This should not affect his ability to maintain an LPR, Judge. However, we do have a couple requests, Judge. In speaking with I'm not sure if the current prosecutor was in this courtroom, but in speaking with the previous one, Judge, we didn't have an agreement with the device, Judge. We're asking that device be waived. I was told it was their policy to request it. Also, Judge was asking for some time to pay the fine, and he is a single father, Judge. He does work full time. He has a boy that he takes care of, a young man. We're asking that you consider waiving the CSR, Judge.
Okay, so as far as the interlock device with respect to that, now, was there an accident on this case?
No, Judge.
No, Your Honor, there wasn't. Oh, excuse me.
Okay, so there was no accident in this case, and is this his first DWI arrest?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so then that's
No, excuse me. No, I apologize, Your Honor. It's not his first arrest. This is his third, actually.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and grant your request with respect to waiving the CSR hours, and I'll reduce the fine to $150. So his fine and his court costs he can pay, I'll give him 90 days to pay that, but he will have the interlock device for 5 months. And his Texas driver's license suspension will run concurrent with any suspension that may be currently running. And I just need a phone number for him. Ms. Castañeda, please ask him for a phone number.
Mr. Castano, ¿me da su número de teléfono?
303
319-8971.
Okay, let him know. Go ahead, sorry, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. 303-319-8971.
Okay, let him know that his fine has been reduced from $300 to $150.
Mr. Castano, sus costos de la corte han sido rebajados de $300 a $150
And he has 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
y tiene 90 días para pagar la multa y pagar los costos de la corte.
Ok, muchas gracias.
And that I am going to waive his community service hours.
Y también le voy a remover las horas del servicio a la comunidad.
Gracias, muchas gracias.
Okay, now he is going to have to be in touch. The probation department will contact him at their earliest convenience to give him the providers for the interlock device.
El departamento del probation va a estar en contacto con usted para darle los nombres de los vendedores para el dispositivo de alcohol.
Ok,
Okay.
And let him know that it only has to be on for 5 months.
Y nada más tiene que estar por 5 meses.
ok, muchas gracias.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. If nothing further, then the rest of the recommendation I will follow, sir.
Thank you, Judge. May I be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Have a good day, Judge.
Thank you likewise. Okay, Ms. Castaneda, let Mr. Castano know that he is excused.
Mr. Castano, ya se puede retirar.
Ok, muchas gracias.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Igualmente. CR 21-05028-I, CR 21-05029-I, the state of Texas versus Alex Fuentes. It is a judgment of the court, sir, that you are guilty as charged on each of the offenses that you are here before the court today. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state's recommendation on CR 21-05028-I is a $100 fine, court costs, 180 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probate for 1 year, an anger management class, and 10 community service hours. On CR 21-05029-I, the state's recommendation is a $100 fine, court costs, 180 days, 180 days, Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 1 year, an anger management class, 10 community service hours, and restitution open for Alexandra Ruth Elguia. The state is respectfully asking for a restitution hearing at this time.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, any questions or requests on behalf of your client, sir?
Yes, Your Honor. On the community service hours, we asked that the court waive, and on the court costs, we're asking that the court give him some time to pay that. He is working full-time and supporting 2 young minor children, Your Honor.
Okay. Given the circumstance, I will waive his 10 community service hours. I will give him 90 days to pay the fine, 90 days to pay the court costs. The 2 sentences shall run concurrent. The open restitution date, the hearing will be on January the 6th, 2022 at 9:30 a.m. And what is your phone number, Mr. Fuentes?
It is 956-587-1130, around.
Okay, you'll, I don't know if I said it, but you'll have 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the probation department will contact you at their earliest convenience, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, anything else, Mr. Garcia?
And nothing further, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, you may. Thank you, Mr. Fuentes. Good luck to you.
Thank you, ma'am. We'll see you. Have a good day.
Likewise. Okay, CR 20-05745-I, State of Texas versus Aaron Hernandez. Sir, you are asking to be placed on the pretrial diversion program. Therefore, at this time, a finding of guilt will be set aside to see if you successfully complete this program. That program is a contract that you're entering into with the state of Texas. You're agreeing to comply with certain conditions of the pretrial diversion program. In exchange, the state is agreeing to dismiss the charges against you only if you successfully complete the program. Did you understand the terms and conditions of that program as they were explained to you, Mr. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, is there anything in that program that you are unable to meet?
Ma'am, was there community service hours?
Yes, there are.
It's because I'm a full-time student and I also work full-time. That's the thing.
Okay, Mr. Guerra, at this time, are you requesting that the community service hours be waived?
Yes, Your Honor.
That'll be granted. And what else?
Ma'am, the interlock device, I've already had it for 2 years. Do I still need to have it?
Yes, sir. The interlock device is part of the program. As a matter of fact, I believe they actually asked for the mobile device, but I'll allow you to have the interlock device since you already have that. And you'll have to
Thank you,
keep it because it's part of the program, sir. Once you complete the program, then you don't have to have that interlock device anymore.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, so you're almost there, Aaron, okay? All right, can I get that date again? Is it the December 6th, 2022, Ms. Rivera? Okay, so you're gonna come back, Aaron, on December the 6th, 2022 at 9:30, and that'll be for your pretrial diversion status. And so, and that'll be so that we can check to see if you've successfully completed the program.
Yeah.
Okay? And can I
Sounds
get
good.
a phone number for you, Aaron?
It's 956-780-0079.
Okay, good luck to you in school, sir.
Thank you.
Can you
Okay,
just vote those issues?
yes, you may. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Reina on CR 20-0506-0, I'm sorry, 05060-I, State of Texas versus Eric Reina for the offense of driving while intoxicated, sir, Class B misdemeanor. It is a judgment of the court that you are guilty as charged. And what is the state's recommendation?
Your Honor, the state recommends a $200 fine, court costs 180 days in Hidalgo County Jail, probated for 1 year, an alcohol class, ignition interlock device for 6 months, 90 days Texas driver's license suspension, and 20 community service hours.
Okay, Ms. Mount, any questions or requests on behalf of your client?
Yes, actually, Your Honor, my client has a job as an electrician. He's with a company called Electro Design Engineering in Jonesboro, Arkansas. We were wanting to see if Your Honor would please allow him to leave the county so that he can maintain his employment. We'd also ask the court for any consideration with regard to his community service hours.
Okay, the court will waive condition 7 so that he can travel for work, and will waive condition 11, which will waive his CSR hours because he is employed full-time. Anything else?
Your Honor, we just wanted some clarification as with regard to driver's license suspension and
Okay.
the mobile device.
Okay, so his driver's license suspension, does he currently have his driver's license suspended at this time?
Mr. Reina?
No, I don't think so. No.
So have you had your driver's license already suspended because of your DWI arrest?
Yes. No. When they first gave it to me, yes, they suspended it at first.
Okay, how long did they suspend it for?
It was like, I think it was like 90 days, I think.
Okay, then I'm gonna allow for that suspension to count for his time. I'm not gonna suspend it because then he's not gonna be able to be traveling for work.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the fact it was already suspended once, so I'm not gonna suspend it again.
Thank you,
Okay,
Your Honor.
do you have an alcohol monitoring device right now, Mr. Reina?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so he will have to have the interlock device for at least 6 months, which is half of the time that he's on probation. And because if he wants to get it, where are you right now? Are you out of town or are you here?
I'm out of town, but like I don't drive. I do drive to work to come over here, right? But to work, I'm riding with somebody else.
Okay. So the thing is that it's been my experience in your jobs like that, it's hard for you to do the mobile alcohol monitoring device because you have to do it 3 times a day, and some of the foremen do not allow you to be doing it there on the premises. So then if we have you do the interlock device, this is a reality of it, okay? And then if we do the interlock, it's gonna be showing a little, only like not that many testing, in other words. So it shows like if he's trying to avoid, which avoids the whole purpose of trying to see if he's been drinking while out on bond, right? So I don't know, Mr. Reina, do you know if they will allow you to have a mobile alcohol monitoring device on your work premises?
Well, yes, on that I was gonna tell you, it's not gonna be no problem because my boss, he's my brother.
Okay.
So it won't be a problem.
Okay, so I would suggest, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead, because of the circumstance that he's in, I'm gonna switch out. It won't be an interlock device, it's gonna be a mobile alcohol monitoring device. And that mobile alcohol monitoring device has to be on for at least 6 months. Now, when the probation department contacts you, Mr. Reyna, they're gonna give you, like, if you're gonna get it down here, then we'll give you the providers from down here. If you're gonna get it up there, we can possibly give you some nationwide providers that are up there. But usually I require for it to be done in 48 hours, 48 business hours. So if you're still gonna be up there within the next 48 business hours, then you're gonna have to get the providers, the local providers from up there. So probation should be calling you within, if not later this afternoon, sometime tomorrow, and they'll go over those providers with you, okay?
Okay, ma'am.
All right, and so, what is your phone number?
956-310-3846.
Okay, and I'm gonna give you 90 days to pay the fine and 90 days to pay the court costs.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, anything else, Ms. Mount?
That's all we have before this honorable court. May my client and I please be excused.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great week.
Okay, thank you, you too. Mr. Gonzalez?
Your Honor, how you doing? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, I have number 44 on the court's criminal docket.
Okay, CR 20-06758-I, State of Texas versus Arnulfo Puentes, and Mr. Puentes is present. And
Yes,
what-
yes, Your Honor. I believe I saw him
Okay,
on.
what's your announcement?
Yes, Your Honor, we were set for a plea today, Your Honor, and my bad, Your Honor, we were, there was some miscommunication between me and my office in regards to sending the plea paperwork over to the state, Your Honor. I thought it was submitted, but again, there's some miscommunication between me and my office. So it hasn't been submitted, Your Honor, but we could send it, I guess, right now. But I know, by the time it's e-filed, it may not happen today. Respectfully, Your Honor, I don't know if we could get Thursday or maybe even tomorrow, Your Honor, afternoon docket. Again, my apologies, Your Honor.
Okay, if it has to be fast, we'll make room on December the 14th at 1:30.
Okay, Your Honor, sounds good. We'll go ahead and send that to state here shortly.
Okay. Nothing further?
No, Your Honor, that's the only case I had before this honorable court. If me and my client may please be excused, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. You have a wonderful day, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we're gonna take a quick 5-minute break before we go over the rest of the docket. Okay, Ms. Flores, are you ready?
Yes, Judge.
Okay, thank you. All right, Ms. Gonzalez, I don't believe your client ever checked in.
I'm here. I'm sorry. Say that again.
Then I don't believe your clients have ever checked in, the other ones that you were waiting for.
Off the record, I'm not surprised. I've had difficulties with both of those two.
Okay. What I'll do is, we'll take the NISI and then we'll just see if they contact you. You can contact us and we'll set them up so we can set it aside.
Perfect. Nice eye on number 39, Paula Karina Cruz, Judge.
Yes, we're
And
gonna
then-
take. Yeah, I'm sorry. What number do you have her on?
I have her as 30, Paula Karina Cruz.
Yes, number 30 is gonna be a NISI, yes.
Okie doke. And then I also had number 46, Sandra Itzel Sanchez.
Yes, I have her down as a NISI as well.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and send, let's see if they'll come in and comply.
Okay.
Alrighty, Judge. I think that's all I have. May I be excused?
Yes.
Thank you. You guys have a good afternoon.
Thank you. You
Bye.
too. Okay, so Mr. Kennedy, which is your client that you were waiting on?
It's gonna be number 1, Your Honor.
Oh, that's right. They never logged in. I don't know. Ms. Rivera, do you show that the link was sent out to the Alpha unit?
Judge, the email that's provided is a shared link or shared email. So I don't know how it gets distributed.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and just move her then to December the 14th at 1:30. And I'm not sure, maybe Mr. Damien, if you can give them a courtesy call and let them know that they did not log in this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am, will do.
Okay, and if they even received it, I don't know how that works on their end.
Judge, and just for the record, Judge, what's holding her, I believe, are the felony cases, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, that was the last time that was the announcement that it was the felony. Because we reduced hers to PR bonds.
Yes,
so
ma'am,
it's not ours. Yeah.
Your Honor, I'm not seeing any felonies.
So why is she still in there then? Because
She's still in there because of the assault. There's a $4,000 bond on the assault.
What's the case number?
The case number on the assault is CR 21-132-55I.
Okay, because that's not on this one. And there's a cash surety of 4,000?
Yes, Your Honor, and it shows that she's not in jail.
Judge, but on this case, Judge, that's correct. You did lower the bond.
Mm-hmm. So she's not in jail anymore. That's not why they got in.
Right, she's not showing as a jail case, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, can you hear me? I don't know. Okay, so she's not in jail. She made bond on that assault. She has a cash surety of $4,000 that was placed on her, correct?
Correct, she was released on December 4th, 2021.
Okay, so if they're thinking that she's incarcerated, they possibly didn't get in touch with her to give her the hearing for today, so. Okay, I'm gonna give him some time. I guess when we get off, go ahead and call Mr. Kennedy and let him know that. And we're gonna set her for all 3 cases for a status on January the 20th at 9:30. And if for some reason she's still going to plea at the time, then they need to let us know and we'll change her. All right, let's go through. Okay,
Judge, I'm sorry, my device is acting up, and I heard you calling my case, and I'm sorry I couldn't get to it. It's kind of freezing up a bit.
okay, so what we discovered, Mr. Kennedy, is your client is no longer in jail. She was released on December the 4th.
Okay.
And so she she had the PR bond on those two cases of the burglary of vehicles and the theft, which were set for today. And she has an assault case where she has a cash surety of $4,000 that's been set on her. And that's on the CR 21-13255-I. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to track her down.
Yes,
And
Your
I'm
Honor.
gonna set you for a status on all three cases for January the 20th at 9:30. If for some reason, when you do speak to her, she still wants to proceed with the plea, let us know and we'll set you for a plea docket.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, you too. Okay, so 30 is a nice sign. Did anybody call in on 34?
Or is that Miss Excel, Judge?
No, Boyeda, Boheyda Garza is a defendant. The attorney is listed as Daniel Reyes.
No, Judge, I don't have anything.
Okay, so number 34. And what, number 37?
There was nothing on that one as well, Judge.
Okay, a nice eye. And then Mr. Perez's client, a nice eye for numbers 38 through 42.
Mr. Perez sent me an email, Judge, during docket that his client had logged on and that he was waiting, but I didn't ever see him.
No, ma'am. And nobody's been in the waiting room.
Judge, if I may, real quick, on number 34, I clicked on her waiver and it has a date of January 27.
January 27?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Still had the new date, Judge.
Huh?
Still had the new date.
Okay, so then, yeah, Mr. Martinez, I never had anybody log in and be in the waiting room. I accepted everybody automatically. So we need to let them know. Number 46 is a nice sign. And that's it. Okay, Mr. Damian, go ahead, call those names out.
Yes, ma'am. Sandra Itzel Sanchez, Sandra Sanchez, Sandra Sanchez. Paula Karina Cruz, Paula Cruz, Paula Cruz. And that was all of them.
Okay, and what says the state of those no-show defendants?
Your Honor, state
Oh,
requested.
no, I'm sorry. Miss, you forgot Mario Martinez.
My apologies. Mario Martinez, Mario Martinez, Mario Martinez.
Okay, now what says the state of those no-show defendants?
Your Honor, state requested a judgment night side be granted, a KPS issued, and all bonds forfeited for all these no-show defendants.
Okay, that'll be granted. Anything else before we get off?
No, Your Honor, I think that's all that the state has at this time. Maybe we